Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about my favorite all-time Ambi shapes and just my opinion on all of my mice that I've had so far. So I'm very new to collecting mice. I'm very new to reviewing, so I don't have a massive collection, but I do have a good sample size to know what shapes I do and don't like. As you see behind me, I have a good amount of mice that I play with pretty often. And with the addition of the MZ1 to my collection, I just thought this would be a great opportunity to talk about some of my favorite shapes when it comes to Ambi shapes. I'm not a really big fan of ergos. I don't own too many ergo mice. So this is just my take on my favorite Ambi shapes, and they might surprise you. So number one, we're going to talk about my all-time favorite mouse. This mouse has lived on my desk since I've received it, the G-Wolves HTX. The mouse shape is probably one of my favorites to ever exist ever. It is a very small, slight back hump Ambi mouse. I weight cut mine because the shape is so good. Weight is very good as well. But I'm also an aggressive weight modder, so I always like to weight cut all of my mice to see how low I can possibly get them. And I got mine down to 30 grams. Is an insane weight, absurd to play with. This is about as light as the HSK Pro, I believe. I think that one's like 26. There's not a mouse that comes close when it comes to how well it fits in my hand. And for it being a small Ambi, it is probably just unmatched when it comes to just feel in hand. The main clips are using zippy switches. They're very okay. I wouldn't call them the greatest switch to ever exist ever, but I have grown to them over time. Out of all of the mice that I've ever used, the HTX is the only mouse I can truly say is my endgame mouse. Every other mouse is just one that I'm testing. This one will always come back to my desk, and that's why I'll put it on my number one spot for my favorite Ambi mouse ever. Number two is going to be kind of a weird one because people aren't a big fan of the mouse, but I'm a really big fan of it, and that's going to be the Ninjutso Sora. So the Ninjutso Sora is just a small Ambi mouse. It is a back hump, very similar to the XM1. It is quite literally just a downsized XM1. Has a really nice center with a nice taper on the side, so it kind of feels like you're holding a really thin pencil with a nice thick back hump in the back. The main clicks are very flat. They feel very nice to click on. The stock switches are Huano pink dots. They're very nice and very snappy. They're very comfortable to play on. So like I said, I am a weight modder. I weight cut this one down to 29 grams, an absolutely insane weight for a small Ambi mouse. This is probably one of my favorite mice I've ever used. Outside of the HTX, they're both around the same size. They're both very similar when it comes to shape, except the Sora has a really nice back flare and a really tall back hump that makes this mouse really comfortable for a claw grip, but not as comfortable for a fingertip grip because that back hump is really odd. So number three is a two-way tie. It's going to be the Lamzu Atlantis and the Endgame Gear XM1. They're very similar shapes. I don't really see an issue with either one. The Lamzu I've put more hours on because it is wireless. My XM1 is not wireless. I just removed the cable because I kind of keep it on like a showcase shelf. So I don't actually use the mouse. I just removed the cable. But the XM1 shape, the Lamzu did a really good job of mimicking the shape. It's similar in almost every way. Like I said, I've weight cut both of these. This is 38 grams. This one is 50 something, I believe. But they're very similar in shape. I would say this is probably the best one-to-one replica of the XM1 to ever exist. The clicks feel nice, light, and snappy inside the Atlantis. I did upgrade these to KL 8.0s. They feel significantly better than the stock Amrons, I believe it was. I could be wrong. I haven't used the stock switches in so long. But the pink shell blue dots feel really nice. They feel really snappy, really tactile. They are my number one favorite switch of all mouse switches I will ever use ever. If my hands weren't so adjusted to the size of the HTX, this 100% might be my main mouse because the back cut makes it very comfortable for a claw grip. But since I play extended fingertip, it doesn't work a lot of the time, but I do kind of curl my fingers, which makes it very comfortable for an extended like claw fingertip. It's a really weird kind of grip. It's standard, but it's weird. And the XM1, everything's the same. It's just a really comfortable mouse to hold. It's just because it's slightly too large, my grip style, which works perfect with the MZ1, is an extended fingertip, and it just doesn't work because of how my hand rests on the mouse, which is why I like the HTX so much. And for number four, we're gonna have the Razer Viper Mini. So like I said, I really like small mice. The Viper Mini is probably my number one favorite mouse when it comes to budget Ambi mice. It's absolutely unmatched, has Razer optical switches, stock PTFE feet. It feels really good. Again, this one isn't wireless. I just took the wire out because I'm doing a wireless mod on it. And an honorable mention for a really good Viper Mini shape, but wireless, is the Ponage Ultra Sim 2. It is literally a 1-to-1 clone in every single aspect, and I couldn't ask for anything more. It has really cool RGB effects, and there's a lot of customization to it. You can take this top shell off, change the color of the mouse. And even in the configurator, when you're buying the mouse, you can go solid shell or you can go with holes, and then you can change this. I meant to buy the solid shell side and then have the hole on the top, but I bought the wrong one. But the Viper Mini is a really good mouse for my grip as well. Like I said, I'm an extended fingertip, 21 by 11 hands, and it's just a really comfortable mouse for me to use on a daily basis. I used to main it a while back, then I upgraded to a lot of other different mice, which is how I ended up with this pile behind me. But yeah, so that's it. That's all I have to say for the Razer Viper. It is a well-known mouse, beloved. It is probably the #1 budget mouse on the market, and there's not any other mouse I can think of that come close to the status this one holds in most people's hearts when it comes to budget wired gaming mice. And the final pick for my favorite Ambi mice is going to be the Zowie FK2-B. I recently picked this up off the mouse market for about, I think, $30. It was relatively inexpensive. It was fully weight modded with an ultralight 2 paracord, core pad skate, and a weight cut of 70 grams. The mouse is extremely comfortable to hold in hand. It's perfect for my extended fingertip grip because the center hump is so flat that the only part that makes contact with my palm is the back of the mouse, which is where I normally rest my hand. It is a really comfortable mouse to use. Probably, I'd say, the best wired experience I've had outside of more modern mice. It is a very comfortable shape, and I really do hope that Zowie releases a wireless version of this with their own Zowie take, because the white one is very clean and I don't like the Viper. People always compare the Razer Viper to the FK2-B when it comes to, if you just want a flat Ambi mouse, just get the Razer Viper, and it's not even comparable how much better the FK2-B is when it comes to shape. It is unmatched, the greatest shape I've ever used when it comes to a large Ambi mouse, and it's not even close. And the honorable mention for this video is going to be the Extrafy MZ1. It is probably one of my strangest yet most comfortable mice I've ever used. This mouse was designed by Rocket Jump Ninja, which is why they call it the Zeiss Rail. It is incredibly comfortable for my exact grip. The way that he designed the mouse, he designed it to have contact points where his fingers would lay on the mouse. And since it looks like he uses an extended fingertip, that is exactly what I use as well. It is probably the most comfortable playing experience I've had in a gaming mouse to date. I did just receive this today, so I'll give you guys an update later on. But right now, after giving about an hour or two of getting used to how strange the shape is, it has probably become my favorite shape to date. But since I just got it today, it might just be new mouse buys, so I'll update you in like a month to give you guys like a full picture of how I feel about the entire mouse. So yeah, that should be it for this video. Thank you everyone for watching and subscribing. I'm running a giveaway for a SkyPath 3.0 on Twitter right now. If you want to go check that out, link is in the description. I also do have a Discord community if you wanted to join, chat, have fun. We sit in VCs often and just play games, so don't be afraid to come join, play games in the VC. I do plan on doing a mousepad roundup out of all the mousepads I've tried. As you see, I have a nice stack behind me. So I do plan on doing a mousepad roundup of just all the ones that I've tried and just give you guys my thoughts and opinions on those. So yeah, that should be it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you guys in the next one.